Kia ora, good evening. An aggravated armed robbery in Invercargill last night has police on the hunt for the alleged offender. The Southern service station on Alice Road was the target of an aggravated robbery at around 8:30 last night when an armed male demanded cash and cigarettes from the sole employee working at the time. Police are yet to confirm what type of weapon the man carried. The service station employee was shaken from the incident but was not hurt. The male was described as wearing a black hooded top, black jeans and a black balaclava and was carrying a blue shopping bag. Police are appealing to the public for any information or any sightings of suspicious behaviour near the service station at around 8:30 last night. Police can be contacted on 211 0400 or 0800 555 111. Two separate kitchen fires in Invercargill this morning left both properties with extensive smoke damage. An overheated wheat bag that caught fire in a microwave this morning was quickly followed by a kitchen fire at a Tweed Street property. The fire is thought to have started when an unattended pot of fat caught fire, gutting the kitchen and causing extensive smoke damage to the rest of the home. The fire service received several calls from neighbours who reported flames leaping from the kitchen window. They estimate it took just minutes before the fire was out of control, and the message remains: never leave cooking unattended.
Due to some nice early warning and vigilant members of the public, smoke alarms activating, the occupants were onto it nice and early. We got there very quickly and were able to contain it to just the kitchen.
So was it unattended cooking at this stage, do you know, or was it just an accident?
It could well be just an accident. We're investigating that just a little bit further. We haven't finished the investigations on that, so but it's definitely yet another kitchen fire, which seems to be quite a common cause of fires in the city.
Why do you think it is as high as it is down here?
I don't think it's just specifically Invercargill. You know, nationally, the figures show that unattended cooking and kitchen fires are one of the major causes of household fires.
So as far as being vigilant and being more aware and engaged when they're cooking, that's the key message that you're putting out there?
Generally, that's the key to it. You know, just if you've got the heat source in the kitchen, you want to be around it and looking after it while you're cooking. Keep it under control.
So there were some positives to come out of it.
The early call to the fire service, the smoke alarms were a really positive aspect of the house. 3 smoke alarms activating in the house from the smoke, so that ensured that the occupants were out and safe, and that's the main thing, the people were safe.
The Southern Institute of Technology is constantly surveying students and graduates to monitor the institute's performance. One recent survey of 1,000 graduates shows 86% either in employment, self-employed or in further study. Hunter Andrews asked the SIT Chief Executive if the institute was happy with the current graduate survey and its results.
Yes, we certainly are, and particularly in reasonably challenging economic times, it just shows that students coming out with vocational qualifications are getting into employment, and particularly SIT students.
So you just put the survey to the students themselves, 1,000 of them?
Yes, we do. We do it in May each year, or sometime just after May each year, so it gives 3 or 4 months for them to get into employment after they've graduated, and then we want to look at this, the levels of students that are either in employment or self-employment or further study.
And no surprises, 98% in the value for money, which is comes with 0 fees.
Well, it'd be a worry if there was a surprise. It's as good a value for money as you're going to get, I think, with 0 fees.
And another great result, 83% approval of the equipment and facilities.
Yes, and it's certainly gone up over the last couple of years, and I think it vindicates our decisions to spend so much money on our trades facilities upgrade and our other upgrades around the campus. So students expect good facilities and equipment, and we think we're giving a really good service there now.
How many different surveys are there? Are you constantly surveying students to get their feedback?
There's a lot of surveys, and that's actually an issue, that we don't get survey fatigue, because the students are surveyed while they're here during the term. They're surveyed on the the equipment, the facilities, the teaching. They're surveyed at the end of their course, and then they're surveyed when they get out into employment. So it is an issue, but we've had a really good percentage that have filled in these surveys or come back to us with these surveys, so that's good.
You've recently returned from a delegation that went into Southeast Asia. These count very highly. You've got to have those figures to present prospective students, haven't you?
Yes, you do, because they want to know that there's employment for the programs that you offer, and it's always a really good indication that your programs are meeting the need, they're providing the right skills for employers, so it's good evidence that your programs are up to date and meeting those skill needs.
Tonight, Southland District ratepayers get their chance to question the 3 candidates running for the mayoralty of the district. The debate is hosted by Federated Farmers at their 4th Street office from 8 this evening. John Douglas, Gary Tong and Paul Duffy will get 15 minutes to explain why they should be mayor, followed by questions from the floor. Stay with us, still to come a weekend wrap with tap dancing, music gigs and miniature models. Welcome back. Visitor arrivals and resident departures have both hit new highs in the month of August. Statistics New Zealand figures show a 6% increase in arrivals in August 2013 over 2012. Australians and Chinese nationals are visiting New Zealand in greater numbers, up 7,900 and 3,400 respectively. New Zealand hosted 2.65 million visitors in the year ended August 2013. Kiwi residents' departure numbers were also up, with almost 2.2 million Kiwis taking an overseas break, up 3% from the previous year. MP for Invercargill Eric Roy has just returned from a Southeast Asian student recruitment drive for the Southern Institute of Technology. The MP lends a governmental legitimacy to SIT recruiting delegations, a legitimacy that's all important to Asian parents considering a Southland education for their children. Mr Roy spoke to Hunter Andrews earlier today.
Well, I've been asked a number of times to support SIT in their external marketing because foreign students, full paying, they don't get zero fees, they're a significant part of what SIT does, over 550 now, which is very big by New Zealand standards proportionately. And so I'm part of the team, and the team varies in who goes, but Tim and I are an integral part of that when we can get there. I promote an explanation really about how tertiary education in New Zealand works. You have to appreciate that in Southeast Asia, where we were, a lot of the learning institutions are public companies, and so you get a qualification and what does it actually mean for some people. So we're able to talk about the New Zealand Qualifications Authority and the audit process.
You're lending legitimacy to that.
Yeah, exactly, legitimacy. That's the key element of what I do. And it's a highly competitive market. If you look at, from New Zealand's point of view, what are our exports? Primary production's number 1, tourism number 2, external education number 3. It's the 3rd biggest earner.
And do you see it climbing the ladder?
Oh, yes. As long as we do it right, it's a very competitive market. You go and you talk to an agent and they might be representing 40 or 50 different international learning institutions, and it's our job while we're there.
And they're commission-based, aren't they?
Well, most of them are commission-based. There's a variety of mechanisms where they get their money, but principally they are commission-based. They sell or they promote and get a student to sign up, and they'll get a proportion of what the fees are.
So is SIT on the back foot actually offering a cheaper education because those agents won't get that commission?
Well, that's one of the things. You see, things we offer in Southland are a cheaper education, better value for money, a family environment, no casino. But because they're cheaper, proportionately they get less than someone who sells to a higher priced operation. So you've got to meet the market and work out who's going to be attracted to Invercargill that might not be attracted somewhere else, and we just sell Invercargill as a good, friendly community, family based. We look after the students, all of that sort of thing.
An exhibition of the world in miniature came to the Workingmen's Club at the weekend. The annual Southern Modelers Club exhibition offered something for everyone, whether a sci-fi Star Wars buff, a slot car racer or plane and tank spotter. Modelers Club President Gary Lang reported that there had been a steady flow of people to see the varied exhibits assembled by club members over the weekend. The advent of the internet has led to a revival of scale modelling around the world, with many websites catering to those who have newly caught the bug or for those returning to the hobby after years away. A fundraising gig on Friday night in Invercargill saw several bands perform at a concert to raise money for a worthy cause. Close to $1,000 was raised for the Foundation for Youth Development to support Project K, a project that mentors around 1,200 teens in the south. Players Entertainment provided the venue, and an appreciative audience of close to 200 enjoyed a range of music, beginning with an acoustic set, followed by everything from the Beatles to the Kinks. Event organiser and Hudaki drummer Simon Richardson says the level of support was better than expected, and they intend to run the event again next year. The tap of dancing shoes and the ring of singing voices resounded around the Centre Stage Theatre over the weekend. Around 50 students from as far afield as Auckland attended the open competition run by the Invercargill Tap Dancing Association on Saturday and Sunday. Students aged from 6 to 15 performed in a range of classes at the annual event, including Latin American, song and dance, waltz and in groups. Christchurch-based judge Molly Chapman looked for personality, grooming, tidy feet, speed and all-important timing to pick the best overall performers, while President Jan Brown said the competition helps children develop character and confidence with song and dance. And that's all from the news desk this Monday. Next up in sport, post-match interviews following an emphatic last-minute Stags victory. From us, good night.